Are you wondering if it's finally time to start those seeds indoors? You are not alone. This is the top question buzzing among gardeners as winter winds down. In this video, I'll show you a foolproof method to pinpoint the perfect planting time tailored to your location and plant preferences. Stick with me for the next 10 minutes and you'll walk away with a customized starting schedule that sets you up for a thriving garden this season. Let's get started. So, when is the right time to start seeds indoor for spring vegetable garden? The truth is, the ideal time to start seeds indoor depends on two key things. First, your location, and the second, the specific plants you want to grow. Let's break it down, shall we? And by the way, if we haven't met, hi, I'm Gopi, a high yield gardener with a degree in botany and more than 30 years of gardening experience. Over the years, I have mastered techniques to utilize every inch of gardening space to maximize yield. My mission is to help you grow abundant, chemical free vegetables in any size garden. Subscribe to my channel to learn proven, high yield strategies, step by step tutorials, and personalized tips to overcome any gardening challenges. Okay, let's get back to the video. First up, your location. Why does it matter so much? Well, your location determines your local climate, and your local climate dictates when plants will actively grow between spring and fall. As you probably know, most annual plants can't survive a frost. So, your local climate essentially defines your growing season, that sweet spot between the last frost in the spring and the first frost in the fall. These dates are your gardening guide, telling you when it's safe to plant those annual veggies and flowers outdoors and how long they will have to grow. So, how do you find these crucial frost dates? It's easy. Just do a quick Google search for last frost date of your zip code. Or, if you prefer, I have included a link in the description to the Almanac website where you can find this information. Once you have those dates, write them down on a post it note and stick it near your seed packets. Trust me, your entire seed starting schedule will revolve around these two dates. Now let's talk about the second factor, the seeds you want to grow this year. Not all seeds need to be started indoors. The whole point of starting seeds indoors is to give plants that need a long time to mature a little head start. This way, we can harvest those veggies and flowers sooner than if we planted the seeds directly in the garden. Starting seeds indoors is especially beneficial for the gardeners in cooler climate with shorter growing season. However, we don't need to grow the plants indoor for longer than necessary. All we need is for them to develop 2 to 3 sets of true leaves and a decent root network. If the plants stay indoor for longer time, most likely they will outgrow their container and become root bound. This condition will impact the plant's overall growth. When the seedlings are ready and transplanted outdoors, the plant will need to adjust to their new home in the garden. No matter how careful you are while transplanting, the roots will be disturbed somewhat. And some veggies and flowers absolutely hate having their root disturbed. They don't like being moved. These plants have very delicate root system. They might survive if you transplant them, but they won't perform as well as if they were started in their final destination. These are your carrots, cilantro, radish, okra, corn, peas, spinach, beets, beans, zinnia, squash, melons, and cucumbers, among others. These veggies are meant to be direct seeded in the garden when the weather is right for them. On the other hand, plants like peppers, eggplants, tomatoes, broccoli, and cabbage really benefit from an indoor jumpstart. So, based on this information, make a list of veggies you want to grow this year and categorize them into start seed indoor and direct seed outdoor section. You will need these for the next step. Before we move on, don't forget to check your seed packets. They provide crucial information on when to start seeds indoor and their germination times, helping you refine your schedule. If you are in a warmer climate, you can lean towards the lower number as the plants don't need to grow as much before transplanting. If you are in a colder climate, go with the higher number to give your plants more time to grow indoors before they face the outdoor elements. Okay, now let's get back to the original question. When do we actually start the seeds indoors? Here's how to figure it out. First, grab a yearly calendar or print one out. I have a link in the description below. Mark your last frost date on the calendar, and let's call that week number 0. Now, count backwards and mark each week from 0 to 10. Don't count the lines on the calendar. Count the actual day. For example, your last frost date falls on Wednesday, then count each Wednesday going backwards. Now let's dive into the timing for specific plants. 8 to 10 weeks before the last frost date, you can start celery, green onions, leeks, and hot pepper seeds indoors. Between 6 and 8 weeks before the last frost date, you should start broccoli, cabbage, eggplant, kale, peas, and sweet peppers. Now remember, the cool season veggies can be transplanted in the garden a few weeks before the last frost date. 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost date, basil, beets, collards, lettuce, and tomatoes can be started indoors. And lastly, between 2 and 4 weeks before the last frost date, you can start melons, cucumber, okra, squash, watermelon, and zucchini indoors. Remember, all these plants are really fast growing and they do not need long indoor growing period. In my experience, the smaller these plants are at transplanting time, the better they'll produce. Near your last frost date, start hardening off the transplants by gradually exposing them to the outdoor elements. Now, if you want to make things even easier, I have got a free seed starting planner that you can download. The link is in the description below. This planner will tell you exactly when to start seeds for more than 20 vegetables for your location. All you have to do is figure out your last frost date and fill in the rest of the dates with the help of any calendar. And voila! You have a customized seed starting schedule just for you. You can reuse this planner year after year, and it has space to add more vegetables or varieties if you wish. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to subscribe for more practical tips and tutorial on growing the best vegetables. Happy gardening everyone!